Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my table. My name is Sonal Singh, and I'll be your host for the evening. Today, we have with us a very, very talented young author whose debut book is actually a kaleidoscope of, I would say, kaleidoscope of not just emotions, but different journeys that she's taken via her characters. So, please welcome Priya Bajpayee.
Hi, Sunal.
Hi,
Thank you.
Priya.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
It's lovely to have you with us, Priya. And I have to
Thank you
say,
so much.
having read Goya, the first thing that struck me about Goya, was a beautiful cover. The cover just
Yeah.
attracts you. It's soothing and it has these shades of pink and blue all enmeshed together. So, what is the story behind that cover?
This credit goes to Room 9. They have come up with this
Mhm.
beautiful cover. I just wanted something unique, preferably red. That's what I wanted.
Mhm.
When they showed me this cover, it just blew my mind. It was meant to be. It's just like, this
Yeah.
is it. Was the moment
It's
for me.
very, very, it's very, very soothing. I mean, the minute you see something like that on a bookshelf, you're immediately
Yeah.
drawn to it. It's that soothing. So, anyways,
Right.
congratulations on your debut book, and I hope many, many more to come. So, on that
Thank
note,
you, Sona.
uh, tell us something about yourself. Let's start from there.
Oh, I live in Mumbai, and though I was born in Allahabad,
So
I have
was
lived
I.
in different cities. Yeah, I know. So there's something common between us.
Yes.
Um, yeah, but I have not lived there. And I have lived most of my life in Lucknow. I spent
Okay.
college and school. When I got married, moved to Delhi, and then we were meant to be in Mumbai. We came to Mumbai. We had my son. So it's been an amazing journey. I live here with my husband and my son.
Okay. So, Priya, there's this burning, burning question in my mind. I need to get it off my chest. So, the thing
Yes.
is, one sec, let me switch this off. Okay. What I need to ask you actually is, what is this fascination with, four-letter titles? The thing is, see, Goya, a four-letter title, Hive, a four-letter title again. So, what is this fascination? I know you were born in Allahabad, so aisa kuch, did something like this happen? In some Kumbh
नहीं
ka
नहीं.
mela, you met some Rishi Muni who said, ki, like, child, only four letters for you. Usse zyada mat jana. Was it
No, it
something
was
like
it.
that?
No, it was not planned. In
Uh-huh.
fact, when we compiled all the stories of Goya, I didn't have a title. It's a much
Okay.
kept, well kept secret. It is that we didn't have a title.
Uh-huh.
So when Mitru kept asking me, they kept asking me about the title, and I just didn't know what to what to
Uh-huh.
say. But
You
what I was
kept
looking
pushing
for,
it off.
I had
Uh-huh.
just had this abstract idea of how rainbow holds all the hues together. That's all I
Oh,
wanted,
that's
and
nice.
I wanted something catchy, and because all the stories are of varied genres. It's not There's nothing common between them
Exactly.
apart from
Exactly.
the writer or the narration style, you see. And so
Right.
I wanted it to be catchy. It's
Uh-huh.
short and catchy, easy to remember.
Mhm.
And the last part was that I wanted to involve the readers. And this is
Mhm.
where the meaning of Goya is so beautiful. That is the
Hmm.
feeling when someone reads a story and
Hmm.
they are engrossed so much in it that they forget everything else and they become part of the story.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this is kind of where the writer ceases to exist there and reader takes over. So it kind of involves the reader as well. So that worked for me,
That's
and
how it came
Room
about.
9 Day also. Yeah, that
Mhm.
was
Okay. So coming to your book, actually, it definitely, I think my favorite story, definitely, I've told you that earlier, is Murder at the Palace. That story is
yeah.
like, it just sucks you in like that, and you feel like, oh my God, ye bhi ho gaya types. So on that note, let me ask you, are you a big, big, like Bollywood fan?
Not really. I used to watch a lot of movies earlier before I got married. My husband is not a Bollywood fan, so to say, and
No, Chori Chippe
there's
thoda
no
idhar
fun
udhar.
in.
Do you watch? Chori Chippe idhar udhar you watch?
I do watch, but now I'm not that fan anymore. I just
Okay.
watch whichever, good movies I watch whenever I get good reviews. Now
No, but
these
when
days
I
we're
read
watching
this,
Suits and
oh my
enjoying it.
God. No, but when I read this
Very
particular,
rich.
story of yours in the book, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Bam, this is Bollywood masala to the core. Iska chakkar uske saath, uska chakkar uske saath, and total ghan chakkar. That is what came to my mind. So that's why I asked you. But that's a beautifully written story. And what I
Thank
liked
you.
best was there are these little details that have gone into that story, which you must have had to research a lot, regarding IP addresses and, emails received and sent and all that technical jargon. You don't have that background. You are an English lit student, right? So how much did
Yes.
you research?
Actually, to be honest, nothing. Because I,
Aisa mat bolo.
yeah, that's true. Because this is my hobby to learn about everything. I love to learn, and I always knew about VPN. I have this VPN for the safe browsing, so I know all these things. I didn't have to even search anything, Google anything. Nothing I did for this,
Oh, great.
especially for this story.
So it all came from here. That's even better.
Yeah.
So now that if ever any of us write a story like that, we need something technical. We know whom to come to. So guys, those of you who are watching it, go to Priya. She'll help.
I'll be happy to in whichever capacity I can.
So which is your most favorite story from amongst all the ones that you've put up?
Oh, there are so many. Can I
Give me one.
say 2, 3 at least?
Okay.
One would be very difficult. There are so many of them, 27. So let me tell you 3 of my favorite. Okay.
All right. Done.
So Time Traveler is one of my favorites. It's
Okay.
always time travel as a concept. As I told you, it's my hobby to learn. I always want to learn and fascinated with universe and stuff. So time travel as a concept, it fascinates me. So it was fun writing it, the tea pen in his hand and going to past and changing it. So it's very fascinating for me. So that was fun to write, and it has an evil protagonist. So that's also I had never done before. Another one is the Holy Book. Is the setting of Egyptian. You have read it,
Right.
historical.
Exactly.
So having done graduation in history, have this soft corner for historical fiction. So this is again very close to my heart. It's a court drama, and there's murder mystery again going on. So
Right.
it was again fun to write.
You're very fascinated by murder, it seems, right? For some reason, murder really fascinates you.
Well, yeah. And then they were again. If last one I have to pick, I'll say Neil's Shoes. The horror one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
story. It
Yeah.
packs a lot of punch in just very few words. That's what I liked best about that particular story.
I surprised myself with that one.
Yeah, you
I
don't
didn't,
like watching
see
horror. I
myself.
mean, you hate watching horror. So are you
Oh,
like
I
that
can't
कंबल के
stomach.
अंदर type का person कि कंबल के नीचे से थोड़ा थोड़ा देखती हो?
नहीं,
Are
नहीं,
you that?
I can't. No, I can't watch horror. Not
But
even
then-
one. Nothing.
But then your story, I think you opened the first Hive book, Hive anthology, Blood Runs Cold. You opened with your story, which was a horror story. So how did that come
Yeah.
about?
So this was Route 13 that we
Right.
planned. Actually, this was this happened
Sorry,
2
yeah, Route
years ago.
13. Yes.
Yeah.
Route 13.
2 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
I had this. I was talking to Anshu, and we were discussing a book. It was about murder. So the title was something like it takes. I don't remember exactly the title, but it was about some people, how many takes, 10 to murder you or something like that. So I had this idea. It takes 13 to scare you. So
Okay.
we wanted to tell the story of, 13 writers and telling horror stories, trying to scare the readers. So this is what I had in my mind. I discussed with Anshu. She was on board. Then slowly, we got everyone on board, and everyone got interested in it, and that's how it came to.
So that's
But
how
yeah,
Hive was born.
Yeah, that was the first one, and then we decided to tell more stories. We were not done yet, so that's
There were
how
more
it was
people to
born.
murder, perhaps, right? And more people to scare.
Yeah. Then there was thriller we did and so
Okay,
on.
so I think Priya, after this particular chat session that we're having, your image is probably going to be changed forever, in the minds of all those who are watching.
Most
So,
of them, they know that I can't
you love
stomach
murder?
horror. Ah,
Chalo, theek hai. On that note, tell me, Room 9 is a publication house that's been, it's been all over the internet of late, and they're an upcoming publication house, and your debut book has been published by them. So, what was your experience working with them? And would you recommend them to others, or do you have any suggestions for new writers going forward?
absolutely. Room 9, they're like family. It never occurred to me that they are a publishing house. It was just like talking to friends and taking it forward. It just happened. It was such a natural process. I just sent it, they accepted, it just started. And there's
They're
no
very
story in it. It's just, yeah, it's, I would
right.
say just go for it. Room 9 is just rocks. And
Okay.
if you see the quality of the book,
Yes,
the,
absolutely. The print
the cover,
quality, the font.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Me too. Me too. Wait. I've also got it here. So, guys, if you've not already read Goya, if you've, not already bought this book, this is the one to buy. This has got 27 beautiful stories by Priya. And the best part about this book is that it is not just one genre. Like I said in my introduction, this book is a kaleidoscope of different genres, different characters, and different kind of settings that are going to wow you, because you've got one historical setting. I mean, you go to ancient Egypt and bam, the next minute you land up in some place in the future, and then you go and you are embroiled in this murder saga, and you're like, oh my god, how did this happen? So that's the kind of I would say that's the kind of thrill this book has. So if you haven't bought it, do get it. It's available on Amazon. So
Thank you so much, Sona, for the endorsement.
no, I wanted to ask you something. I have noticed this often in your stories. I mean, I'm not just talking about Goya here. I'm not talking about the other short stories that we've interacted with, when we've written on platforms. So
Right.
your stories are a very heady mix of the past, the present, the future. I mean, you seem like a time traveler to me, who is undecided about where she wants to go and inhabit what era, where in the past or the future. So how is it that you write about so many things?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just happens, when a plot comes to you, the characters come, this just happens. I don't sit and decide that, I'm going to write this genre next and that one, and I'm going to try it all. I think it's just very naturally, it happens. I just don't shy away from any of the genres. I just like to dabble and challenge myself. Though, as I said, I have the soft corner for historical fiction.
You're right.
And that's why I think where the fascination with time travel comes from. That we can, if there was a tea pen or something like that time machine, I could go back and visit all those bygone era, or to see those monuments, or meet those kings and
Oh my
everything.
God.
So I think that's where it stems from,
Oh,
the
I see.
amalgamation of science and history.
Okay. And tell me something, when you sit and write, like, do you ever sit and plot out your stories in advance, or they just come out of you, possibly a sentence that comes to your mind, and then you're like, okay, this is where I start my story. That's how it goes.
Yeah, usually it happens. Especially for short stories, I am more like a pantser, I would say. But I've realized that if you're writing a novel, there has to be some plan, some structure or some skeleton you
Right.
have to, some points you have to write. Otherwise, it becomes chaotic. So this is, I'm trying to become a plotter, though by nature I'm a plaster.
Okay. Okay, there's another thing that I have been meaning to ask you. It is said that usually, when we write a drabble, say 100-word story, or we write flash fiction, which is like 500, 700 words, the language in those particular stories is very terse. We need to keep it very, very crisp, because there's just so much information we need to put into that story in order to give it a
Right.
structured beginning, the plot, the climax, and then the denouement. So, did it ever bother you that in writing a short, story or a flash fiction, a reader may not be able to connect as well to your story as they would to a lengthier story, as opposed to say a 3,000 or a 5,000 word story. So did it
Right.
ever bother
Right.
you, or did you ever think that it could happen when you were writing Goya?
Yes, yes. It does happen. And sometimes, the readers, they approach you and ask you when they are not sure. But sometimes,
Hmm.
it's best to leave it to readers' imagination as well, because you leave something for them to, think about. Otherwise, you
Hmm.
just read the story and that's it. But I think when they don't get a closure, they
Hmm.
kind
Yeah,
of
that's what
make their
closure.
own.
Hmm.
Yeah, they don't make it. They try to, find a conclusion, make their own conclusion, and come up
Hmm.
with it. And it kind of leave. It kind of involve them, with the stories, I would say.
Hmm. And how do you approach such stories? See, because writing a flash fiction, which is like 500 to, okay, let's take even 1,000 words, and then writing a story, which is like 5,000 to say 7,000 words, there are two different
Mm-hmm.
structures which the stories take.
Right.
Right, the lengthier stories need to have more information, so the settings change, the plot line becomes more descriptive. How do you as a writer approach this? Because you've done both, you've done the shorter versions
Yeah.
as well as the lengthier versions, and in your book as well. So as a writer,
Right.
how do you approach it and ensure that the continuity of the tone is maintained in either situation?
So, I have tried. Yes, I have tried both. I have tried lengthy, short. Now I'm writing a novel as well. So what I
Hmm.
found, it's difficult, far difficult to write a short one. You have to plan so much and say so much in little few words.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, there's no structure. I think they were just. I'm a very intuitive writer. I just write as in. Uh, if a prompt comes to me, or say I have a character and I tell the story, and uh, if there is like a word count to it, I would try to
Hmm.
write as much as I want to, like 2000, and then tone it down, cut the unnecessary
So
fluff,
the word count,
and
right.
yeah, tone it down. That's how I go. I think that is what where my flaw lies, that I'm not very good at describing description. That's where my I know this. I know where my flaw is, and I'm working on it. So the writing novel is a challenge for me, especially a procrastinator like me.
No, but I've noticed this in your writing. Your writing is very succinct, it's to the point, and it's very clear. There is no
Yeah,
external riffraff in it. You do tend to use figures of speech, but there are no
yeah,
unnecessary metaphors. So, your language, if you're writing prose, it is prose, it is not
yeah.
poetry. And
Right.
the tone is maintained evenly. And now in that situation, if you were to kind of like immerse a few poetic references or a little more of the metaphors, I think the balance of your story would go awry, because then the
Yeah.
story wouldn't be that endearing to the reader. They would be like, ye achhi bhali chal rahi thi, what happened to her here, like, possibly.
So yeah, that's a different writing style that all of us have. So that's mine. I think I try to keep it simple. Readers can understand it, and they get something out of it. Maybe entertainment, maybe some they learn something new that they didn't know about. So, yeah.
Mhm. Right. So, what is your writing methodology? If I were to give you, say, a prompt offhand, uh, how would you start thinking about, executing that particular prompt? So, suppose, for example, I give you Priya fell off the chair. I mean, don't fall off, but just for the sake of giving it, Priya fell off the chair. That's the prompt. So, how would you start executing it on paper to make it a story?
Oh, that's a difficult one. So usually when
You want,
I
you want to fall off, experience it, and then see?
yeah, actually, it's a uh, when I see a prompt, and usually my mind goes blank for 2 days, you know, uh, and I am a very research oriented writer as well. I read a lot. I try to learn a lot. So I
Right.
think a major chunk of my planning goes into research. So what era I'm gonna write about, what furniture they're gonna be, what these kind of things. So that ways I like to do my research. I like to learn new things. So I think that's where I start, and then usually plot comes. I think somewhere I don't know where from, but it does come.
Because you're an intuitive writer, so that's how it comes.
Yeah.
But
I think
tell
just
me,
while doing the research, I also watch movies and do a lot of research. I think somewhere the inspiration comes. My muse never sleeps, so I think
that's
yeah,
where it comes
that's
from.
where.
Okay. So tell me, how do you combat writer's block? I mean, do you ever feel blocked and you go like, ये हो नहीं रहा है types, या ये character को पकड़ के मतलब, do you ever feel like that, frustration कि कुछ आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा है? How do you combat that?
Writer's block, I think it's the biggest nemesis that an author can face, and all of us do. From time to time we do, and we need to try to tackle in our own ways. What I think works for me is I relax. I think it's a way of our mind is telling us that slow down. You need to take a break. I think you should just relax and take it easy on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Best advice would be, I think, read and watch movies. That's the best one, I think. And I was suffering from it hit me. I think a couple of years ago it hit me bad, and I didn't know what to do. So what I did was I just took one of my old stories and took a paragraph from it and paraphrased it, and voila. So I think to let the metaphorical juices to flow, it sometimes works in different ways for every
Yeah, I think
for
every
each other.
writer has a
Yeah.
different kind of perspective when it comes to tackling writer's block. What works
Yeah.
for one may not work for another, but then
May
we
not.
each have to find
Exactly.
our own way through it, basically.
Yeah, I think this, for a time being, I think we should just relax, slow down. That's, I think, what our mind is trying to tell us that time.
Right, right. And tell me, what do you find easier? Rather, sorry, what do you find harder, writing the story or editing the story?
Editing. Editing. Oh, it's pain. It's really painful.
You don't want to let go of certain lines and paragraphs. Itni mehnat se you've written, and then you've got to cut them out because they don't fit. Okay. So
editing is horrible. I love to write, but I just dread editing.
Okay. So which has been the hardest story for you to edit in your book?
Hardest to edit, I think, would be Murder in the Palace, because it's a long one, and yeah, that was the most difficult one to edit. The most difficult one to write was Neil Shue, though, because
horror angle.
Yeah, horror angle, yes. And when I started it, it was completely different from what you read in the book.
Really?
It started as a very slice of life kind of story that woman is just cleaning her storeroom.
Okay.
And just the character, there's just she, I think, just found. You remember the story? I'm not going to disclose it for the viewers. If they want to read it, they can go and check it out.
Let's not reveal the suspense now, right? Huh?
Yeah. So she finds the objects and stuff, and the idea was at the beginning. The idea was just she was cleaning, and she'd be nostalgic about objects, about letters, music, these kind of things, and they just took to another angle altogether. I think the character had her own story to tell.
Yeah. The character said, I'm going to write myself. Priya, sit aside. Let me finish my job here.
Yeah. I think that's where,
Yeah. Do you feel that some characters literally write themselves? They come from some part of our soul. And I have actually always believed that as a writer, when you write, your story is not just a part of you. You become a part of that particular story you're writing. You leave tiny pieces of yourself. Do you think you have left such pieces of yourself all throughout Goya, or just maybe one of
Yes, I have. I'm sure I have.
How much of Priya is there in Goya? What percentage of you is there?
A lot.
Okay.
So, like, if you read the first story, The Kaleidoscope,
Right.
the Tess is very inquisitive and curious, like me, imaginative. I
Okay.
like to do that,
Hmm.
imagine things. So she's like me. Ahana Roy, she's detective, and
Right.
I
Strong
think
feminist character.
I'm curious like her.
Hmm.
Osai is a feminist
Hmm.
in Egyptian world, and I think I'm also a feminist. And there are
Hmm.
other characters as well, like the Elisa in Tea with a Drop of Honey.
Hmm.
Uh, she is a lot like me, a lot like me. If I were to say one
Okay.
character was, most like me, it would be her.
That would be her. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Acha, tell me something. As a writer, what do you think is more important, editing or proofreading your story or your work?
Uh, as a writer, I would just want to proofread my story and pass it to the editor to edit it because I don't like editing at all. So
Okay.
I trust my editor on that.
Do you use any online editors? Do you use any apps or any such kind of programs to edit your work? If you could tell our
Yes,
viewers what you're using.
I do that, but my son advised me not to name. Can I name them? Because my son said you cannot name the apps and software. But
Okay.
I use, yeah, I do
But there are
use
there are
softwares
a
and
lot of
apps.
free versions. Like there are a lot of free versions.
Yes,
So there is Hemingway, then there's the Grammarly editor.
yes,
So those are the free
yes,
versions that I'm using. So I guess
yes.
all of
Same
us
one.
probably, yeah. Okay, so the same. All right. So tell me something, Priya. Now that we've read, my takeaway from Goya, my takeaway from your stories in the Hive, and my takeaway from the work that I have read on other online platforms is about if I had to kind of caption you as a person, I would call you a kaleidoscope because that is what kaleidoscope, not a bioscope, mind you, kaleidoscope I'm talking about. वो मेले में बचपन में मिलता था वो नहीं. Why?
I
Because
know.
there are multiple hues to your story writing style, just as there are multiple hues to the kind of work that you have put out. Your work,
Yeah.
you are not one writer who I would say, ki, I've read your 5 stories that have been written by you. I know what to expect in the sixth and seventh. Your tone may not vary, but your genre, your setting, your characters, their feelings, everything varies. So I would call you a kaleidoscope. How would you caption yourself?
I don't know, Sonal. I never thought about myself. Uh, I just, I enjoy writing. I give my heart and soul to it.
Mhm.
I think I'm very passionate writer. I just love to write, and this is what I am.
Okay, complete this. Priya is dash. What would you say to that?
An emotional writer, I would say.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, yeah, because your stories have that. They have different, they are not like, I interviewed Shivani and I said that Hirayat is like a river of emotions. Your stories are not a river of emotion. Your stories are that waterfall that falls over a precipice. And then, the streams kind of go in different directions, but they all pool together at the bottom to create a pool. But yes, the water is going in different directions. So that's what I would say. Your stories are like a waterfall falling over, a cataract or a precipice. So, is
Beautiful
there
way
any?
to put.
So, tell me, how has your writing journey been so far? Are you satisfied, or are you still? Is there still some niggling thing that you need to do?
I am pretty satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote, five. I was part of four anthologies to be precise. One was my
Right.
solo
Hmm.
for last year. So it's been great. Another one we have just launched it. Hashtag love. It's again very beautiful. Do read it if you have not. It's beautiful.
I am
And
happy to do that.
and one thing, if I would say, I think that's a novel. I want to write novel, and I keep talking about it because I know there's a procrastinator in me, and if I don't talk about it, I'll not write. So I
So,
keep it's
talking
kind of
keeps
I
you
am
enthused, and raring to
yeah.
pen down.
If I yes. So if that's why I've announced it that I am writing it because then I know that I'll go back and now I'm gonna write it because
Right.
I've
So, Priya, is that a
spoken
promise
about it.
that I can? Is that a promise that I can hold you to? That you will give us a novel pretty soon?
I am trying my
Say yes.
best.
Say yes.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So, Acha, tell me, Priya, on another note, if your husband Vishal or say Anjane, your son, they were to describe you, what would they say about you?
Oh my God, I don't know. I nutcase. I don't know what they're gonna say,
That
but
case,
I don't know.
it's
I'm a
okay.
very emotional person.
I think all of us writers are slightly crazy at some level or the other. Because my children tell me, Mom, you're completely crazy. How do you get away with so much stuff? I said, it just comes with the territory. So tell me, what does Vishal say to you, or what does Anjane say to you when it comes to you being a writer?
My son, he just, keeps reading Goya, and he keeps asking me which story I'm allowed to read. He doesn't
Oh,
just hold it and read,
yeah.
because he knows I don't approve of him reading all the stories. So he'd come and ask me, and then you read, and then he would get up and say, "My mom is the best writer in the whole world." So
How
it
sweet.
feels great. It
Yeah.
feels great, though it's not true, I know, but
Oh, come on.
it,
Come on. Don't be so modest. Modesty doesn't
but I
suit you.
like
Don't
it.
be so modest.
So yeah, and my husband, he says that I'm very emotional. I need to be more practical. Uh, yeah, but I think I am,
You need
as
to
you
be
said,
who you are.
I said that. Yeah, and I write with my passion. All my passion in the heart and soul. And I'm honest writer. Yeah, that's all I can
Okay,
say
and
about myself.
what gets you irritated or angry? Do you ever get angry? Because I've never seen you, never interacted with you on a level in which I've not seen you smiling or upbeat. So do you ever get angry?
I do get angry.
You
I
do?
do,
And if you
but
came with
I'm
a
an
warning,
introvert.
if you came with a warning label, what would that label say?
As a writer, it would be anything that you say will be used in my next story. So
Oh my God.
anything that you say or do, so beware, Sonal.
Am I your next character?
Who
And
knows?
my God, I think you're going to use that crazy thing about me. This one is completely crazy.
You're
So,
very sweet, Sonal.
oh my
Just
God.
today, I was
I hope,
talking to someone and saying this.
really, I hope my family
Yeah.
is watching. Where are you all? Please. I'm going to pass off this video to all my family and make them see this now.
Because I've met you twice, so I know.
Yeah, we've met
Uh,
twice. Yeah.
yeah.
And had it not been for COVID, actually, this session would have happened in person. That was the initial idea
Yes.
I had. But on that note, I would like to tell the readers that Priya has dedicated her book Goya to COVID sufferers, and not just the patients, the survivors, and those who've lost their life in COVID. So that's a really sweet dedication, Priya. That really, really touched me. And why
Yes.
did you write that? Were you so deeply affected by it?
Yes, I was. And even all the profits and plus 100% sales goes to COVID relief fund as well.
Oh,
I'm
that's
really deep, as everyone
commendable.
is affected by this pandemic. Uh, we even lost my father, not to COVID, but I think had it not been COVID, he would still be alive, my father-in-law. Though I've never spoken about
My
it on such a platform, but
my condolences.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. So, okay, let's shift from this topic to more lighter ones then. So, okay, tell me, Priya, what is your typical writing time? Are you a night owl, or are you like the morning skylark up with the sun rays and all that stuff, which I can't do?
Yeah, I'm a night owl as well.
You're a
I
night
like
owl.
to write at night. Yeah, when everybody is asleep, I like to get up and write to my heart's content, and everything is so quiet and peaceful, at that time. So I like the peace of that time, at night, 2 o'clock,
Oh my God.
when everybody is asleep, maybe.
No wonder you guys bring out so many horror anthologies then. No? You guys write at night. Obviously, the horror aspect comes in that. Okay.
I never write horror at night though. I I don't want to scare myself also. So
Oh, okay, Acha, tell me something. Now, this was about your book. I'm sure that growing up, since you're a postgraduate in English literature, my God, Priya, your cups keep changing. First it was green,
Yeah,
now
that
it's this.
this is water. That's BT.
Achha. Okay. So, anyways, coming back to the question, since I'm sure you read a lot of the classics as a part of your syllabus, and after that also
Yes,
because
yes.
you're fond of reading, I know. So, which is the one book that really really influenced you, or the one writer that you really admire?
I think there were many. If I were to say one, it would be Thomas Hardy.
Um,
Tess of the
Rest of
Willis
the
is just such a
Tupperware,
beautiful, yeah, it's the
it
most
is.
beautiful novel I've ever read.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
still keep revisiting and keep reading. It's just like an old friend. I like to
Right.
revisit.
Right.
So it
No,
left,
the
I
character
think
of
that's where,
Tess is actually the character of Tess, and the portion in the book where Thomas Hardy has described, her milky complexion and all that. He goes on
yeah,
and on and
yeah,
on. The
on and on, yeah.
visualization is very, very.
Yes,
So, but if you like
absolutely.
Thomas Hardy, have you ever read Daphne du Maurier or liked Daphne du Maurier?
No, no, I've not read, but do recommend the story, the novels. I'll definitely look it up.
No, because both the writing styles are pretty similar. Of course,
Similar.
Thomas Hardy, of course, is a master when it comes to it. But
Yes.
yes, I will recommend. So, if there was any one character, like, you wanted to write in any book that you have read, which character would that be? Or which character could you have written better in anything that you have read?
I don't know about the second question, but I think Sherlock Holmes, just
Oh,
one
yes,
character. I wished I
Arthur
had
Conan
written,
Doyle.
but I have not.
Yes.
I would, of course, not have written better. Definitely
Mhm.
not. But I wish I had written. It's a beautiful character.
Right.
I
So, I
think
mean,
I was in love with this character.
right. I
Absolutely.
think I was in class 8th when I read the entire works. And to date, I think I have read Sherlock Holmes not less than 17 times, cover to cover, the entire works. And I never tire of them. I watched all the series also on TV, whatever I
Yeah,
can find. But yes,
absolutely.
it's a brilliantly written character. You can just connect to the character and visualize the character immediately. So,
Very well-rounded character, with its
right,
flaws and master. It's a master storyteller. Arthur Conan Doyle,
right.
definitely.
So, Acha, you mentioned in the beginning of our chat that you've started watching Suits. So, what season
Yeah,
are you on?
I am on second season, fourth episode.
Acha. Oh, so you're actually squat bang in the place where Gabriel Marked is looking his most handsome. So, any ideas?
Yeah.
Would you like to go on a date with Gabriel Marked, a person like that? हमारे
No,
बीच की
I'm
बात है.
happy.
It's just between us. This is just a
I am
tete-a-tete.
happily
Nobody's
married.
watching.
I'm happily married.
Ari, Vishal is not watching. This is just between you and me. Nobody's there. See, just you and me. That's it.
Yeah, why? Why not?
There it comes out now. Okay, no, but I seriously think, I my husband keeps telling me, you to keep liking every character you see on TV. Jahan wo char panch, I show you a limited series like 6, 7 episodes, and you're fine. You're like, हाँ खत्म हो गया. The minute you go on to 5, 7 seasons wale, you to start falling in love with every character you see. So I'm like, that's just the writer in me. I just keep thinking कि
Yeah.
कितना beautifully लिखा गया है character.
It's so beautiful. Actually, when we were
Right.
watching Suits, I'm just always, thinking it's so beautifully, and uh, who is the writer? I mean, they just
Exactly.
done phenomenal job with it.
And the
Absolutely,
language, in
no doubt about
fact,
that.
the language is brilliant as well.
Yeah, yeah.
There's, on that note, I'll ask you as an advice that I've always received in life is that if you want to be able to write well, you must read a lot. Of late, that reading has kind of taken a backstage because there's so much of net content available in the English language, and especially good American shows like Suits or British shows, they use brilliant English. This
English,
English is
absolutely.
grammatically correct. The vocabulary used is top notch. So I have found that I have actually learned a lot from that as well. So as a
Yeah.
writer, what would you recommend to others? Watching such good content on TV, or reading good content? What is more important?
I would say reading definitely beats it all. I think a good mix of both, I would say. But if I were to choose one, I would say reading. Reading beats it. Watching, though,
And
as much I'm in love with Harvey and Mike, I would still go on to say this that though
reading is
there
important.
are there are so many distractions these days, easily
Right.
available entertainment, and of course is attention span is also shortening, reducing. But reading is just a joy. I've inculcated in my son as well, and he
Okay.
loves to read.
That's
I think
commendable.
he
That's
read some 100 books last year, which I, of course, we don't get time to read that many books. But it's
that's
great to
brilliant.
see, kids. Yeah.
Yeah, pick up
So
that
I
habit.
would say yes.
But
Yes,
nowadays, a
absolutely.
lot of the content is digital. You guys at Hype, you guys are also doing digital anthologies. So,
Yes.
do you feel somewhere as a writer, do you feel that paperbacks are losing their charm? What we learned to browse bookstores and then pick out those kind of freshly minted books off of the shelves, and just that opening that book for the first time and inhaling that aroma, that was a heady feeling in itself. Do you think that's losing out its charm now?
I think yes, it kind of is. It's very sad, but it is true. Like there are audiobooks,
Hmm.
though it's good in a way that people at least are listening to audio. And when you are on a go, when you don't have time to read, when you can't read, you're driving or doing your chores,
Yeah,
you can
plus for those who are
listen.
blind, for them it's
Yes, yes,
right.
absolutely. And then there is ebook, very handy, easy to carry. You can
Mhm.
carry several books at a time and read it. And then paperback. I think the old world charm of paperback is just,
Mhm.
I think, is the best. I still love to hold the book and take
Same
the
here.
smell, and it's just
Yeah.
absolutely bliss. And hashtag love, as you say, that it's coming out
Mhm.
soon. Paperback is
Oh, great.
printing soon. So yes.
So what is your next project on the Hive?
You'll know soon. We've
You've announced something, I think, again, another horror
yes,
anthology you guys have announced,
yes.
right? Okay, so
Horror,
that's
horror. We have
coming out.
announced.
So will that
Yes.
be an ebook as well, or will that be a paperback?
Yeah, that will be both paperback as well as
Oh,
ebook.
great. Okay, so you're going digital and analog, both the avenues you're exploring to reach the maximum amount of readers. I
Yes,
think that's I
absolutely.
think that's brilliant, and it's needed also, because a person like
Yes.
me, although I do have a Kindle, but it's only when I have to download an ebook and read, I go to the Kindle. Otherwise, I prefer paperbacks any day. So that's why I
Yeah.
got the paperback version of all the books, that friends have
Not,
printed, because I want to be able to keep them. And, I want them to kind of adorn my bookshelf. And hopefully one day after this COVID is over, we'll get to meet and you'll sign your copy of the book.
absolutely. We have to beat. And
Right. It's
nothing
been too
beats
long.
a paperback,
Right.
nothing can beat.
I agree. Okay, so on that note, and now I'm going to, we'd actually put up a little, teaser of this session that we were going to have, and there are some questions we have received from the audience. So I'm just going to quickly ask you some of those questions before we sign off from this session. So this is Sheetal Ashpalia. Sheetal is asking, what makes you unique as a writer, Priya?
You tell me. I don't know. I think, as I said, I'm very honest writer.
Mhm.
I love to write. That's my passion. If I were to say one thing, I think I'm an honest writer.
Right. And would you describe yourself? Most of the writers, it is said, they are introverted people. They are those who live with their thoughts, and, they live in a world of imagined realities. That's what it is said about
Yes.
writers. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Where do you live?
I am I'm an out and out introvert.
Okay. So you live in your world of imagined realities.
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay. So have
I
you
think there was a time I was an ambivert, but I think
ever,
now I am an introvert out and out.
okay, have you ever gotten up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., when you suddenly had a dream or an idea and you wanted to pen it down before it escaped?
Oh
ऐसा
my
कभी
God,
हुआ?
story of my life. Story of my life.
The secret is out
My
now.
muse, my muse never sleeps and does not let me sleep.
Oh
As
God.
I think Kalam said that dream is The ones that don't let you sleep.
Right. Dreams are the ones that don't let you
Yeah,
sleep. Mhm. So
yeah.
basically, your dreams are pretty lofty, it seems, if you're not getting any sleep. You have too many of them. So,
I
anyways, I
do,
wish
I
you all the
do.
best. Okay, your strongest point as a writer. This is again Sheetal's question.
I think my strongest is my weakness.
Huh?
Is that I
Okay.
dabble into all kind of genres. I don't know
Right.
which one. It's like falling in love with several men. So I think I
Oh my
find my
God.
one true love. I don't know which my niche, what my niche is. Because I've
Right.
dabbled into so much. So
Mhm.
yes, I think that's my
Do you want to discover
strongest.
that niche? Do you want to discover that niche? Or you're very happy being so promiscuous?
I think when it comes to novel, I think I'll have to find my niche. Otherwise, I'll just keep looking here and there.
Yes, that is a very valid point. Okay, Smriti Dash has asked us a few questions. Best thing to happen in your life, Priya? No, and not Vishal and Anjaneya, apart from that.
that's the best thing. I think apart from that, this
Goya, okay. And when did
is
you?
the third best though, huh? I want
Oh
to
my
add this
God.
disclaimer. This is the third best.
Yeah, वो सब बोलना पड़ता है. It's okay. We understand. We understand. So, okay, she again wants to ask you, when did you first realize that you wanted to be a writer? What point in your life?
I think I always wanted to, be a writer. That's
Mhm.
my always been my dream. I used to write those slam books that we used to write as kids. I used to
Ah, those
always
are
write
great.
either detective or writer. So I think I
Oh,
became both with my
yeah.
with my
Murder in the
studies.
Palace made you both a detective and a writer. Yes. I will love that story to my dying day. I absolutely kind of,
Uh,
immersed myself in it. And I was like, अब क्या होने वाला है? And in between, I remember when I was reading it, my daughter came to ask me something, and I was like, shh, रुको जाओ अभी थोड़ी देर के She was
so
like, what are you
sweet.
doing? I was like, no, I'm neck deep in this mystery. Let me solve it. Then I skipped.
Mysteries, they do this to you, You want to
They
solve
do
it.
that.
You want to know the answer.
Yes,
I
and
think
yours
that's
was
why
very
they
well
sell.
kept. Very well kept. It was the suspense.
Thank you so much.
So, okay, now, Smriti, again, one more question from Smriti. What do you think makes for a good story? What is more important? This is from my side. What is more important to you? The plot, the character, or the setting?
Uh, I would say though the plot comes first, as in you think about the plot first and then the character.
Mhm.
I think memorable characters think they beat everything else. Because if you think about a book, your favorite book, you'll remember the characters, not the twist, not the, what the plot was like, what the setting was like, but you'll remember the name of the character if they were strong and if they were memorable.
Right,
Otherwise, the plot is gonna fall flat, even though if
right.
it's mind blowing. Unless your character is strong
Hmm.
and memorable, even the
Everybody
best
forgets.
plot
Yeah,
can
yeah,
fall flat.
right. Okay, Shweta has a question for you. This I think you've already answered. Why do your stories span so many genres? You've answered this. So we'll come to a next question, which is when it comes to good story writing, what is more important, experience or imagination?
I think a bit of both, though. I would say imagination is accessible to all the writers.
Mhm.
Experience may not be same for everyone, though. I think that everything is writable. Every mundane thing you can write about. Experience
Mhm.
matter, but I think imagination can take you where no plan can take you. So I think
Right.
imagination for me. Yes.
Very true. Okay, before we wrap up this session, there is just one thing that I would like you to, tell all the wannabe writers out there. What what will it take for them to make it in this world? Not just to write a story, but to become a better writer and to eventually pitch a book to a publisher. What will it take?
I don't know if I am the best person to answer that, but I'll try. I think conviction, belief in your own stories. If you don't believe in it, no one else will. So be true to yourself, be honest to yourself, tell the story that you want to tell, not what you think the world wants to hear.
Right.
So I think that's all I can say is be true to yourself, read and write. That's the way to go.
Okay, there's something that I read which Neil De Silva said. He'd written it someplace, and he said that there are times when I've written about 40 or 50,000 words, and after that I am at
Mhm.
I'm at a block, and I'm like, okay, this story is not going where I want it to go, and I want to shelve it. But then I think
Yeah,
I'm the only one who knows the story. If I don't bring it out, there's nobody else who can
exactly.
me.
Yes, yes.
So
I think
would you
universe kind of, the story chooses you. You
right?
don't to choose the story. It comes to you. The universe has sent the story to you. If you will not do justice to it, who will? So I think yes, he is very true when he says this. Absolutely agree with him.
Right. Okay, on that note, we'll end this chat session, Priya. I wish we could go on and on, but for that, we'll
I
meet
know, right?
over a cup of coffee. We haven't met in a
Absolutely.
very long time, but thank you so much, so
Yes.
much, so much for coming in on this show. And I had an amazing time chatting with you and getting to know you a little better. Although there were a few embarrassing incidents and things that I threw at you, but I have to say you must have played really good cricket because you fielded really well. So
Thank you, Sonal, for inviting me. It's been a great evening. Thank you so much.
thank you so much for coming on. With that, we'll end this broadcast. Good night.
Good night. Bye.